Hi guys, good morning. I welcome you all to a new workshop today. Today I am not in a role of host, but I'm conducting this workshop myself. We are going to look at sound design for advertisements. So like what are our basic rules during the workshop. So if there are any questions, you can either drop it in the chat or else you can unmute and directly ask and have a word with me. And I would suggest make it interactive, because the more you ask questions, the better answers you will get, and we can take this session ahead. So let's start with our session. Let's go for it. I'll share my screen. Just let me know if you can hear it, like whatever I'm playing back. Okay. Can you guys see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Also, can you guys hear it?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I'll just quickly show you what advertisement it is. It is a Whirlpool ad, and this is a session by a student. I had rolled out this as a project for one of the classes, and one of the student has done this. So I'm just going to break down this session for you guys. We'll see what do's and don'ts to follow while working on an advertisement, or basically while working on sound design, and various other elements that are present in this. Okay, let's take a look at the video first. Can you guys see this?
Sir, we can't see the video.
Yeah, wait a minute. Is it visible now? Like it's a small corner. Can you guys see it?
Sir, it's just a black box for us. We can't see any content in it.
Is it visible now?
No, sir.
No.
Wait. Can you see it now?
No,
No, sir.
Second one.
Sir.
It is a black dot.
Is someone talking?
Yes, sir. I think you have to change your privacy settings or something.
Okay, give me a minute. I'll just stop sharing and I'll reshare. Okay.
Okay.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There, right? Okay. So what I'll do is I'll mute everything. I'll mute the master itself, and we'll just okay. And what we can do is we'll just take a look at what exact this thing is, the video. Okay. First, let's take a look at the video, the entire video. Yeah, so that's the video. Okay. Just give me a minute. You guys can see it this way, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The audio is not coming.
Yeah, the audio is muted. You won't get to the audio. That's the whole purpose, right? So that's the advertisement, and we have to like sound design for it. Okay. So it starts with, so before moving on to that, what are the major elements of sound? Can you just quickly, for elements of sound design for films or videos? What are the stems or the, what we could say, the bases basically? Like there will be Foley, there will be SFX,
There will be narration.
There will be narration, which we also called VO or voice.
Dialogues.
Ambient sound.
Yeah, dialogues. If there are any ambient sound, yes. There will be also special effects. There will be Foley,
Yes.
BGM, and all this together would be the entire sound design, right?
Yes, sir.
First and foremost step that one must follow is go through the video thoroughly and put in markers or basically take notes, like whatever you are comfortable with. So I'll again mute. And so suppose like we start playing the video. Yeah, so here he is walking, so maybe I could do this. I could enter a marker saying that footsteps. Also, he is having that crutch, because he is injured. So crutch sound. So what happens is you can use this, like you can add on these markers. So see, this is there, and then let's move ahead. Let's move forward. Yeah, so the fridge opening, like not the opening sound exactly, but then the door is open. There's a glass and multiple other things in the fridge, So check if something is moving. So like she's going to pick up the glass. So you can enter and add a marker saying that glass sound.
So we can also like replicate the sound that comes when you open a fridge, right? Like when you open a fridge, you have many glass items and then they
shatter a bit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that could be additional, like that comes under the ambiences. What these markers are supposed to do is basically give you an idea what Foley you are going to do.
Okay.
Getting it?
Will that not be under Foley?
This that can be under Foley, or also maybe if you can get a recorded, like maybe a sample kind of thing of it, even that is possible.
Okay.
So it can come under both. It's your call as a sound designer. What exactly should we look at that element? So maybe you can add a marker for that. Again, check if in visuals, is there any sign where she's opening the door forcefully? Because if the door is already open, it makes no sense adding that sound, right?
Yeah.
So the door is already open. See, it's a direct cut. So like the next frame, yeah, the door is open already. So that thing doesn't come into the picture, right?
Yeah.
So the glass, picking up of the glass, maybe you can add in a bit of shatter here. There's door closing. See, so now what I'm doing is I'm nudging this. What is a nudge? How many of you are Pro Tools users over here? Anyone? No one? Guys, can you hear me?
No.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, you can hear me, right? So if you see my nudge value is, can you see this? Like the Pro Tools screen, my cursor?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, we can see.
The nudge value says it's 1 frame. Okay?
Yes,
so
sir.
I'm just nudging things at 1 frame. So that shows all the movement. So to pinpoint the exact closing or any movement or any action happening onto the screen, I can use the nudge. Okay. What is time code? I did it, like I've done this with many of classes, but can anyone tell me what is time code? Guys? So for music, we use this thing, right? Bars and beats. And see, when it changed. But for videos or films, we use this time code. So it is basically a sync format. Okay?
Yes, sir.
It starts with like hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. And if you see the nudge element over here, so hours, minutes, seconds, and frames. So it says 1 frame is my nudge value. So when I nudge around, it will move in 1 frame. If I change that to 10 frames or say 1 second, it can also do in that way. But then the minute it is, the better it is, for sound designing. So see, I can pinpoint at what point she's holding that bowl or whatever, the plate. See, it's pinpoint. So that's why nudge becomes a handy tool. So you should know that. So exactly over here, if you see, the door is open, and then it's closed. like that's shut. Okay, so I can pinpoint and add a marker over there saying that fridge door. Are you guys getting it? So you will have to basically make a blueprint of all the Foley elements, all the SFX elements. You know, if there are something, if there's something else that you have to keep in, you know, or design, all of that you have to add markers about it and take a note about it basically before you start working on the session. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. One more thing. So that's my session. Like that's the session which I got basically from him. What I did is I just sorted things out and routed it in a different way. I'll just quickly take you through the signal flow. So whenever I import a video, can you guys see this 25 FPS over here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
What does that mean?
That means 25 frames per second.
Yeah, the video is at 25 FPS. Now suppose if I do my setup, the session setup, if I pull up this thing, this shows that my frame, like the time code rate is at 25 FPS. Suppose I do it at say 29.97 FPS. Now immediately this thing turns red over here and still says 25 FPS. So
Yeah.
Pro Tools has this interesting thing, you know, it lets you know what exactly the video frame rate is. And it also tells you, like, if it is red, it tells you that your session is in a different frame rate and your video is in a different frame rate. So that's why it's red. The moment I turn it down to 25 FPS again, see, it turns white. That is like safe to work, you know, because both the video and the session that you're working on, both are on 25 FPS, like the same frame rate. So always keep in mind, set your frame rates like beforehand.
So usually nowadays in Adobe, when you drop the video itself, like it will prompt you whether you want to change the session.
Yes, correct.
So that will be very easy.
Yeah. But still, it's your duty as a sound designer, you know, like to
that is
check it once. So like, I just love this thing, the feature, you know, it turns white, you're like good to go, you know, like there's no harm. But if it is red, you know what to do, you know. So yeah, that is one thing. After that, can anyone guess what is the signal flow over here? Like, so if you can read the names of the tracks, and then there's a aux. So the first one is the ambience aux, which I have created. So these are ambience tracks. So the student from whom I took it had the ambiences. So I just color coded them and sent through an ambience aux. The next is a, you know, Foley aux, which I have. Okay, so I'll just show how to create that. I haven't, you know. Are you guys getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All these tracks, I've selected them. I'll hold Option Shift in Pro Tools. I'll go for a new track that will create an aux. I'll rename it as Foley Aux. And then hit enter. And
So that means whenever you like put an aux for a bunch of tracks, you need to press Shift and Option.
yes, so Option
Then-
Shift, and then you can do a same function for multiple tracks. That's how
Okay.
it works in
Okay.
Pro Tools. Okay.
Okay.
So I had to send all of these to a particular aux. Like I wanted the same function to happen across all the tracks, and that's how I did it. So maybe you can also color code. I wish to change the color. I'll go for something else, maybe a brown color or something. Yeah. And yes, that's my Foley aux. Those are my Foley tracks. That's my ambience aux. All the tracks above it are my ambience tracks. Then the next is like the voice elements which are present in the video. Like that's not the voice over. Okay. Like there are characters and maybe there are some reactions, or maybe they're
Some laughter.
yeah, some laughter, some reactions. Maybe they're talking as well. Like maybe there are some dialogues or anything, you know. All of that comes in this. It is related to video, like what's happening on the screen. And it is like, that's the same aux, the voice aux. The next is a VO. I always prefer to keep VO in red. because yeah, in advertisement, that's the most important element. Your narration, your VO should be the most prominent thing in an advertisement, because that is what is telling people what we are selling, right?
Yes, sir.
So you cannot mess up with your voiceovers. They have to be spot on. They have to be upfront over there, So like all your elements, your sound design elements, go pretty much behind. The most prominent thing in an advertisement is always your VO. Always keep that in mind. So yeah, coming back to the session flow, that's my VO. There's a VO aux. So if I want any processing happening or slight of reverb or something, maybe I could add it over here and things are sorted, and that's my master track. Okay, starting on, I'll just put in a limiter, maybe a maxim. I'll give it a ceiling slightly. So then now I'm safe, right? My equipment is safe. Why do we add on a limiter on the master? Why did, like, can you just guess, take a wild guess? Why did I do that?
Because like you have so many tracks, so when like frequencies add up, they become louder. So to protect your like equipment and all, in case it like goes above a level,
yeah,
that will help you not pass that.
Exactly. So that ensures your gear safety, first of all. Like you won't mess up with your monitors. There's no clipping happening. So always, whenever you make a big session or whenever you make any session, you're starting with anything, make sure you create a master track and add a limiter so that everything is in check now. You have that safety headroom kind of thing. It locks up. Got it?
Yes, sir.
So far so good. Any doubts that you have? Sadly, I cannot see your chat questions. Like, are there any? No, right?
No, sir.
Okay, great.
No, sir.
Great. Let's move on ahead. If there are any doubts, like you can quickly ask me about the signal flow or anything, and maybe I could take up those and then we can go ahead. Anything? Yes? No? Someone was talking something?
No, sir.
No? Okay, cool. Let's go with your ambiences first. Works?
Yeah.
We'll individually check out what he has done, and then we'll take a call, like how to go ahead with that. So first things first, always solo safe your elements. It was solo safe. I just unsafed it. So your solo button, press command and click onto it. So now it is grayed out, which means that even if I solo any track from this, the aux is now soloed, So if I play back, I don't have to solo the ambience aux always. So suppose if it is not solo safe, and if I solo a track and play back, see, you cannot hear anything, right? So always solo safe your stuff. So like now, if you have to listen to it when the solo safe is not there, you will have to solo the ambience aux as well. Now you can hear the track. Instead, always it's solo safe, and that saves a lot of time. So just a simple hack. Got it? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Just keep talking, or like, because the moment everything goes soft or silent, I feel that, like, is there any internet problem or anything about of that sort? So yeah, he has room tones. He has placed room tones. Let's check out what are those. That's a large hall kind of thing, and he has placed a room tone for that. Works decently enough. I would have liked it to be a bit better, but then that's fine. He also has layered something. Yeah, so now one catch over here is he worked on this in Logic, and he had his automations and stuff written onto it. So what he has done is he has bounced all those tracks and given it to me with all the automations and everything, So that's the reason, if you hear this track, the second one,
You're not able to hear, sir.
You guys are not able to hear it?
No.
No, sir.
It's like pretty.
No, sir.
It's pretty soft, so I would suggest wear headphones. Only then you will be able to hear it. Otherwise, you won't be able to hear it anyway. That's ambience, guys. Like anyone who is wearing a headphone, can you guys hear it?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So can you play it
Can you
again?
play it again, sir?
Yeah.
No, sir, it
No,
is not
sir.
audible.
No.
Okay, wait. I'll just play something else. Can you hear this?
No.
No, sir.
No.
Wait. Just hold on. Maybe the BGM.
No, sir.
No, sir. No.
Wait. Let's mute it. Hold on. I'll just check. I'll just stop sharing my screen and I'll again share it. Just give me a minute. Pro Tools is not audible. Okay, wait. Up till now it was audible, right?
Yes, sir. But when you muted it, after you muted, nothing we could hear.
Wait, give me a minute.
तो कभी उनके बॉस
पहले जूस
Can you hear it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now
sir.
we can.
Yes, sir.
Right? Okay, great. Maybe something. Yeah, so let's check if you can hear the room tone now. Can you?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
It's a small hiss and stuff, you know. So like, can someone hear it? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
You can, right?
Yes, sir. It's a small hiss.
Yeah. Just check this one. It's there. Like, see, ambience is all about that, you know, like what places, and accordingly they have like he has basically added those layers and stuff, you know. So like this, check, this is a home or something, and he has all those ambiences over there. Can you guys hear it?
No,
No, sir.
No, sir.
Hold on. Just a minute. Give me a minute. Nobody is able to hear it.
No, sir.
No.
Check it now.
No, sir.
Not audible yet.
Not audible, sir.
Hold on. Why is that? Just hold on. I'm relaunching my Pro Tools. The original audio thing is on. I'm not sure why is that happening. Anyway, no worries. I'll just check it out. Can you guys hear it now?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
I'll just play it now. Check it once.
Yes, audible, sir.
It's audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone right now? Superb. Chalo. So these are the elements that he has used. Let's check the next one. So that's an interesting touch over there, like he has tried to give in the compressor sound for the fridge. Can you guys hear it?
Yes, sir.
A static electric thing that he has added, which is a nice touch, which could have been a bit more better, but that's fine. It sounds like pretty static.
Yeah, it's just like, when you just when you turn on the speakers and it's just
Yeah,
like,
that's like pretty much more of static, and the sound that a fridge compressor makes, and especially when you hear it from inside of the fridge, is like pretty much toned down and like just a low rumble kind of thing. So that could have been better, but then at least it's there, like he has identified that point. So there's food cooking and stuff, that's like an interesting layer. So I was just checking out the session and he has added that over here. Like maybe she is in the kitchen, so he just thought, adding something frying up and stuff, so if you can hear over there. Can you guys hear it?
yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, so that is there. That's the external ambience which he has put on. So yeah, all in all, there are things in place, There was a bike passing thing that he has added, so like maybe he has to show
अपनों की केयर करने के लिए
the outdoor thing, see here. There's a bike passing, if you guys can hear it. Can you?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, but we can't see the video part. Can you? You're not able to see the video?
We can't see the video, no.
Oh, video is not.
No, this is strange because I'm sharing my entire screen, but then you're not able to see the video, and that's like, I don't know why. Can you see it now? The small.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And you can also hear the audio as well, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Finally, we have cracked it up. Yeah, so then there are some other elements over here. Yeah, so this is again an interesting touch which I liked, So if you see, it's Diwali and there are many candles. So he has just added that crackle of candles, like candle burning and stuff. So that could be an interesting element for sound.
So that'll be like completely masked over all the music and voice.
Yes. So let me tell you one interesting fact, So in advertisements, especially over like in India, we majorly focus on the BGM part, So like most of your sound design elements, unless they are not prominent, they all are going to get masked. But then they have to be, over there, because you never know like who is going to mix in what way. Or maybe if you are the mix engineer, if I am the mix engineer, I'm definitely going to give each and every element of the sound design that justice. Many a times you have to stick to what the client is demanding for, but then you can, like, it's in your hands, like you can convince the client saying that no, it doesn't feel realistic, like just the BGM and just your voiceovers, it doesn't feel that realistic. So it has to be like what we could say, if your ad has to be involving, like ultimately it's an ad film, what we call it, an ad film. So if it has to be engaging and involving, you have to give them all the parameters. Of course, see, there are two things again. This is majorly going to get broadcasted on television, and the television broadcast audio, how it sounds, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's mostly like even the BGM doesn't come out that clean, it's just the voiceover, and that is fine because that's how it is going to be, that's how the losses are going to be. But then like thankfully we have digital streaming platforms these days, so you get to see the advertisements on like whatever platforms that you stream things on. And yeah, that is where you can appeal. Of course, like nobody is much interested in advertisements, they just bother people. But then if it is a good advertisement, you have to make justice to that, like there's nothing like a good and bad ad. Of course, it's an ad and people are spending money to sell their product, so of course we have to give justice to that as well. So that's one element. Then there is another element wherein he has added a clock. Can you hear it?
Yes, sir.
Clock ticking. So yeah, in his living room or something. That is a interesting touch. Of course, it's going to get masked, but then you can do some justice by tweaking things around and making it sound in your mix. The next, that's gasping. The kid gasps. That sounds a bit scary, but then yeah, it could have been a bit more okay. But yeah, the fear has to be there. Like it should be conveyed, because he's frightened, and then the other guy says, "Ki, arey, arey, relax, don't worry about it. We'll wash in the machine, and it'll get sorted out." So that portrays the element that they had been looking in. So that is very gasping. Yeah, again, a few layers of room tones. Always make sure you add room tones, because the moment you don't add a room tone, everything sounds blank. So like, let's do a quick thing. I mute this and you just hear how it sounds, like.
अपनों की केयर
Yeah. The visuals sound so blank, right?
So we can't hear anything.
Yeah, exactly. I've muted everything. That's what I'm telling you. Like the visuals sound so blank.
Yeah.
And now with the room tone, suddenly things become a bit lively, like no
Yeah.
room.
Yeah, true. There's something in that.
Yes, no room is that dead anyway. Like you be anywhere in the world, any studio or anything, it will have a room tone. Like there are only a few places wherein which are specifically designed to be that dead. Like completely dead. But then,
Anechoic,
sorry.
like an anechoic chamber.
Yeah, exactly. But then most of the places will have an ambience. So room tones are, see, that's how it like fills in that gap. Basically, you now have something over there, so that makes things a bit more sweet and tasty and interesting. He has added some train noise over so like maybe. So now this is a creative call. This is a creative liberty that this guy has used. So you don't even know where the house is, so he can portray it saying that okay, it's close to a railway line or a passing train or train station or whatever. So that's a creative liberty, and you can use it in that way. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So far good? Everything?
Yes, sir.
That's kind of an exhaust fan sound. It's pretty soft, so let me just boost that a bit.
सीक्रेट कीपर बन
Yeah. Can you hear it? Now it ends very suddenly, so
Yes, sir.
I won't like that. I'll rather fade it out. And it's pretty short, the duration. It could have lasted a bit more. Because he has, my bad. He has done it with respect to the film, but then they are not that far, from the visuals, like from where the lady is, and because as she's talking to them, they are in the same zone basically. So this element could have been a bit more longer. So till here or something, it would have been fine. Now the camera angle changes, so now the camera moves a bit more far from the lady who was standing there. Getting it? So this could
Yes.
have been a bit more longer, the fan element, but yeah, it is an interesting touch. Next would be an outdoor ambience, what he has added. So now they are out and he has added that. So like I would say the fan element can be a bit more loud because these kids are out now. So I'll just boost it up a bit more, because once you are out, your exhaust fan is like outside, right? Mostly, and it's throwing things out. So that sound can be a bit more loud. So let's check it. but then now it sounds odd because the ambience is constant from here, and only when the lady comes in, there's that fan coming in. So instead of that, I'll choose to mute this guy, the fan sound. Understood why I'm doing that?
Yes, sir.
Everyone? There are some messages in the chat. What is that? It's like the video came to life. Okay. This was for the room tone, right?
Yes, sir.
So like, did you guys see the, so like, just let's take a look at it once again. So that's your external ambience coming to life. So that is present. And now with the fan sound, just check out, it's the same scene, the same place, but the fan comes in suddenly and goes off suddenly, you know. So your sound design should be with respect to the shots that are there, you know, like when the shot starts and the shot ends, basically the scene wise sound designing. It should not be like just because the lady is seen in the kitchen and the kitchen is over here, just that element won't work. You will have to imagine in a broader way. Are you getting it? So otherwise you will create such kind of, like, you can face such kind of problems. See, sounds so bad, you know, like it comes and goes away immediately, but then the entire band or entire bed of ambience is still the same. So I would prefer muting this. So now it sounds a bit more even. Got it? Guys, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Understood like what I meant to say?
Yes, sir.
Again, quickly add fades, because it should just, the transitions should always be smooth. He also has one more layer. Let's take a look at that as well. What exactly that is. Yes, that's ambience again. So I've layered, like he has layered both of them. I'll just chop it off, make things a bit more smooth. In Pro Tools, you can make a selection and just press F, and that adds a fade. Okay, and then maybe you can adjust things. So I don't know why this is too long. Now this should not happen. You can just keep it tight over here, and that's how it would work. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubts up till now? I'll just drop both of these a bit more, especially the second one, because that's too loud. Also, one interesting thing and important thing as well is try to balance things with your clip gain, you know, as much as possible, because that drops your workload in a very drastic way. Otherwise, you will have to automate each and every bit of your entire video. So like for advertisements, it still makes sense because it won't be more than a minute. But then imagine doing it for a film, you know, it's like the saddest dream that you would ever get. So I would suggest like always use the clip gain tool. It's always handy to use that and make things better. Now this sounds even, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like initially, the second room tone sound or whatever he has added, the layer was too overpowering to the first one, like the element of the morning and stuff, you know, like the outdoor ambience. So I just dropped that by a bit, and I kept this guy also a bit down. I can add a bit more of this. So this sounds like pretty much natural. So your scene is now, you know, like pretty much in over there. Getting it? And again, like judge your sound design with respect to the final product. So there's a BGM which is going to come and overpower everything over here. So also be considerate about that as well, you know, like is there any space or is there no space for the BGM? and how things are going to work with that. So always consider that as well. Okay,
Yes, sir.
you guys are understanding, right? Are there any doubts?
No, sir. All okay.
All good. Okay, great. So next, what? I don't know why this thing is over here. Maybe he wanted to layer. Is someone saying something? So I'll just drop these levels over here. Add a nice fade. Maybe you wanted to give a layer of ambience to the house, like the in-house scene, and also add a bit of like the external ambience kind of thing, you know. So instead of this, what I would do is like now it's layered completely, and that's a mix down. So I would have again did the balancing the way I did over here, you know, so that could have been much more even and pleasant. Okay. Now here, if you see, the external ambience is a bit more than the internal ambience. Guys, can you hear? Are you guys there? So what I'll do is I'll just layer it once more. The room tone. Like that's what I have with me right now. So I'm just making some changes in this, you know, like some quick fixes kind of thing. And I'll drop this. The room tone is now too loud. A bit. I can this a bit more. Now the room tone makes sense, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Now it's much more uniform, and also you have the external elements a bit more sound coming in. Again, the birds chirping can be eliminated over here because they have lights and stuff all over here, which means it's evening and you don't find birds chirping in the evening. So yeah, that is one thing. So that could have been done. Got it? Pretty much clear with the ambiences?
Yes,
How
sir.
things
Yes,
work?
sir.
Sorry?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there anything in the chat? Yes, sir. No doubts up till now? No questions? Everything seems to be okay with you guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Let's move on to footsteps now. So the opening scene, this guy is walking. I guess this is, yeah, the aux is muted. So that's why we were not getting it. Mute the ambience now. Yeah. So that sounds a bit heavy, and there are some layers. So let's check out. The second one is like a very thin element, and the first one is like a pretty heavy element. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go to the audio suite, EQ, 7-band EQ, and maybe add a high pass onto it. Just hear it once and render it. So now it's there. Whenever you are using audio suite, you cannot play back things. So you will have to always audition it, and then now it sounds better.
Yes, sir.
So now it sounds like a pretty thin food kind of thing. Before that, so I'll just Command Z this thing. It was pretty heavy. Shift Z, so that keeps things back again, and that is what we have did to it. Make sense?
Yes, sir.
You guys understand how that thing happened? Or yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Nothing in the chat. Okay, great. Yeah, so that was the food step. So he has layered it. There's this BGM track which sadly came in over here. So I'll just think and maybe we could place it somewhere else. So normally, now this was a small assignment. So these guys took basically one track, what we could say, a royalty-free track, and they pasted it. But then you will have all these stems of BGM as well, and you have to mix them as well. So maybe you will have to mix them, or maybe the music producer or the music mix engineer also sends in that to you. It can be anything. Most of the times you have to do it like everything all by yourself. So yeah, that is one more element. Let's move ahead. So water droplet, let's check what he has done. There is also beep which he has added. So I guess it's for the AC. Yeah. Oh, it's for the washing machine. Matches well, right? Guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Like, when he presses it, the sound.
Yeah. So I'll just drop the levels a bit. I feel it's a bit too loud. Yeah. This is how it should sound. Makes sense, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Because these sounds are subtle. They are not so loud. So I just dropped and a bit too soft. Yeah. So that is how it works. What is that? Yeah, and the next is a water droplet. So what is water droplet? Let's check it out. Okay, now this is automated, so you might have got it from the left itself. What he has did it for the logo. So normally for these big brands, you know, they have their preset logo sounds, and you know, like the intros and outros, they normally have the logo coming in and going out, and it will have a fixed sound. So say Britannia has their own, like they have been classically conditioned to the people, like, so people once they hear that music as well, they get to know कि अरे ये Whirlpool का ad है और ये
Even Intel.
yeah. So normally they will provide it, as this was an assignment and they just got a video file, so they did not have it. So he tried doing something from this, which is nice, but then it could have been more like a bling thing or something, is what I feel. So next is a swish. Okay. This sounds okay to me. How about you? Can you come up with something else for this thing?
It sounds good, but it sounds a bit like a cymbal reverse or something.
Yeah. Yeah. So what exactly, like, what could have been your element here?
Something that feels a bit more digital in a way.
Yes.
I think.
Right. Even I would go for it. Maybe a laser beep or a sweep or whatever, you know, you can design something around that. So that could have been a thing. But nevertheless, this also sounds nice. I like it. Like it could have been, maybe, you know, you could have led with some electronic thing, and that could have sounded even well, like blended with this, and that could have sounded well. But nevertheless, this is what we have, and that sounds okayish. The next thing is AC beep. Sounds okay with me. There's something additional information which we can, you know, chop off and make things cleaner. Keep fades. Works?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's see what is the next thing that he has. That's a bowl sliding. Okay. Let's check for sync once. So if in Pro Tools, if you're playing back, like if you want to play back, you hit space bar. But then if you have to play back slowly, hold shift first and then hit space bar. It now plays in slow motion. Okay, so this comes in handy for you know, checking your sync and stuff. He also has layered something. So Yeah, works. It sounds a bit sharp if you see. It won't sound that sharp. So what I will do is from any of one audio, I'll just cut the highs using audio suite. Okay. Are you guys getting it?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the layer. Let's hear it now. Even this is a bit more sharp. I'll just drop it down pretty much to my taste. Still a bit more sharp. Makes more sense now, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that is your bowl sliding, and that you have flick design. So next is like, this is a nice element. I liked it. What do you guys think about it?
Cool, sir.
Yeah,
It's
that
very
was very
subtle, but
nice.
it actually adds up.
Yeah, because see, this is where the advertisement mind has to kick in. That's the brand, that's the logo, that is what we have to highlight, and he has done a very fantastic job over there. The client will be really happy, with this, because it subconsciously projects the product to you, the brand to you. So I really like this input, and it's really nice. So I'm going to definitely highlight it. Next is cloth drop. Yeah, so they are dropping the cloth in the machine, and yeah. Now the shot changes really fast over here, so the tails cannot stay that long. Okay, so what you have to do is you will have to fade it out. Got it? Makes more sense now.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
It was staying back for a quite long time, and that was creating that the after effect of the sound. Till then you have the next shot coming in. So for advertisements, things move really fast, because the time that you have is like, say 15 seconds, say 30 seconds, at the max 1 minute, and you have to convey your story within 1 minute. So that's a struggle for the directors. Similarly, it's a struggle for the sound designers. So like, no prominence or no tails, like much of them cannot be kept. So it's there, like bang, and it's there. He has also 2 layers to it. Let's check them. These 2 are too sharp, so maybe let's cut the highs a bit from here. And render them, and yeah, we have it there. Works.
Yes, sir.
Still feels a bit sharp. What I'll do is I'll cut a bit more of highs. You guys are getting what I'm doing or no? Is there any confusion, any problem? Ask me.
Getting it, sir.
Getting it? Anything that you want me to show more, you can let me know, and I can do that for you. Whatever is going is fine with you, right? Are there any doubts? Any questions?
No, sir.
See, now it sounds okay. Also, we can drop a bit of level from all these 3, because your cloth won't sound that heavy. Okay? Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's move ahead. See what's next. It's a small layer what he has added. I don't think it's working. Like, it's not audible. Whatever we have done up till now, it is completely fine. So maybe these 2 tracks we can, like, it's not getting used. So what we can do is hide and make inactive. It's gone. So you have things sorted for yourself. There's also one more layer. This is pretty tinny and sharp. I don't want that as well, so I'll just hide. Make inactive. Always, whatever tracks you are not using, make inactive. Why is that? Because suppose you're not using it, but suppose like before you start, you added some plugins and played around with some parameters and stuff, and now that plugin is there and your track is not inactive. So every time you play back, the plugin is going to use your processing power, and ultimately you will end up using a lot of processing power, and that's not even of use. So if you're not using it, always keep a habit of making that track inactive. That becomes really helpful for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now there's this thing. These guys drop Dia. This sounds really tinny. He has a bunch of tracks for layer. Yeah. Okay. Doesn't match well, but yeah, could be a thing maybe. Okay, so maybe I could add in a bit more of low end to this. So this time we'll add some low end. Okay. Let's see how it's going to sound. Yeah, slight low end is added. Maybe to this track as well, we can add a bit more of low end. Yeah. So again, audio suite. We are giving it a body. Sounds good now. Sounds okay?
Yes, sir.
It should have been a bit more slow, but then like I'm just playing around with whatever he has done. Ideally, I would have recorded it in a much slower way. It's like happening very quickly at the moment, like looking at the sound designed, but then it should have happened basically a bit more slow is what I feel. But yeah, nevertheless, it works. Like we could make something out of it. So now it sounds something like this. Okay, works. The next, like this track has a lot of elements, so let's quickly go with all of those. Yeah, so these are the crutches sound that he has given in. The crutches, let's check what kind of flooring is he walking on. It looks like a maple wooden flooring kind of thing. Is it? Or is it not? It's a wooden flooring, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now this sounds pretty thin. What I will do is I'll add some lows, maybe some body, not exactly like low mids or something. And yeah, it sounds okay now. So check it. Works. The initial sample that was there, it was pretty thin and tinny. I just added a bit of body to it, and that makes things okay for me. Is there anything? Airtel, what's Airtel? I don't know. Anyway. Avi, what was that? Guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So I think you were
Yes,
saying
sir.
that
Yes, sir.
Airtel has a MOGO.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. You guys are getting it right? Or are you guys completely confused? What exactly is happening? Because I'm not getting if you guys are understanding it. So you can ask.
Understanding, sir.
Yeah, you can ask. So this now works for me. Next is the fridge door he has added over here. So yeah, it can be given a bit more of level. That's like too loud. Yeah. Again, that's like too loud still. Also, can be better with the sync. Here is where the door closes. Yeah. So works.
Yes.
Sound is coming late a bit. Yeah. Yeah. So
I think it was made for the left door.
sorry.
Even the left door is closing, right?
Yeah, let's check it now. Yeah, the left door is closing. That's what that is what we have added the layer for, like the sound for. No?
Okay.
Yeah. The right door is open, or the lower door is also open. It's just for the left door. So I'll play back in slow motion. Just check first. The sound comes on time, right?
So was the panning on purpose? Like it sounds a bit panned on the left.
Yes. So I told you, as I told you, like he has made all of this in Logic, and he has sent me the session, like the session exports with all the automations written onto it. So he had
Yes, sir.
automated it maybe and panned it and kept it on the left. So yeah, if you are having a huge screen, it will come from the left, right? Like the LCR format or something. So yeah, that is a good touch, but then it should happen with reference, like you should have a big screen and onto which all this should be happening. But he has done a good job over there. This thing, we have a layer of it above as well, so we have layered it, and this is like fine with me. I'll just drop a level of this so that whatever we have done up makes more sense. Yeah, this is a good, like this sounds really nice. I don't have any problem, or I don't feel that it needs any kind of alteration. Maybe just the sync. Sound coming in a bit late. I'll nudge it one frame maybe. Yeah, now it is fine. So you should be able to analyze and judge this 1 frame, 2 frame ka difference as well. Huh? Like that comes with time, and that comes with practice. So the more you practice, the better it goes. Okay. The next what he has done is, okay, the cloth drop thing. This sounds good. Again, we have a layer of it. So I'll just drop this a bit and add some fades, and that would be it. So, yeah. Sounds good to me. Is it okay with you guys? Does it sound well to you?
Yes, sir.
The next track, what is that? Yeah, the fridge ambience, but then it cuts off really sharp, Yeah, so there should be good fade. That should work well. Yeah, oh yeah. This guy as well. And we can drop the level overall because the rumble, and that's too static, sounds too static. So what we can do is add a bit of rumble, drop a bit of mids. Yeah. And now let's hear it. Works. Still there's that ringy frequency which irritates me. So, band. So I don't want that. Yes, it should work. Now, does that sound good?
Yes, sir.
That static frequency is like pretty much gone. Of course, it is a sample, so it's going to be there somewhere, but much toned down. And now it like it is basically to my taste. So yeah. What is next? Next is Google. Oh, okay. So yeah, he has used this. So many a times there can be copyright issues or something, you know, with the logo, like the brand thing coming up. So maybe, yeah. So like using any other sound is also making sense. So yeah, and just feed things over here, and this makes sense for me. This is good. Are you guys getting it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We have a glass layer, so this is an additional track. I'll make inactive. Droplet sound. What is that? Let's do. This now makes sense to me. The one which we had earlier, and if we hear these two together, so this is kind of the water droplet, and that is like the second track, like which we are hearing, is like a bit more of highs and presence, you know, over there. So
Yes, sir.
together they sound really good. So yeah, now it makes sense, right? And he has smartly added, like panned it to the left and right, used it beautifully. So I love that. That could be a good thing. So yeah, this sounds nice. We keep it. There are different effects. This we already have used, so let's not go there again. We have used, so AC also we have. Also we have checked this out, so it makes no sense. Yeah, so this is maybe a layer or something. No, it's a sound together. So I guess it's everything together. I'll just not use that track because we have independent elements anyway. Next thing. That was for the spoon, but then if you see carefully, the spoon is not touching the bowl anyway. Okay, so is it glass or spoon or what exactly it is for what he has added? Yeah, it makes no sense to me. I'm just hiding this there, not using it. This could be a layer for the crutch, and I'll keep that. Raw sound we already have done, so let's not do that.
तो कभी
Let's not do that. The diya layer. Yeah. So he has a few more layers for this lamp thing. Let's check it out one by one. Any doubt so far, or everything is clear? Good to go. Guys, can you hear me? Are you guys bored?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes,
Are you guys bored?
No, sir.
sir.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
Yeah, great. So I'll keep these chops a bit more tight, the fades a bit more tight. see, like, don't overlay too much. Now this is an example of overlayering. Okay, so never overlay. Find what you want.
Less is more.
Yes, less is more, definitely, because the more you increase the number of layers, the more phasing will happen. You know what is phasing, right? So it is potential phasing that would occur, and that can cause problems with you, and after a point you will be like, it doesn't sound really good, and why is that? So instead, I would prefer, I'm not using a few layers from these, so maybe layer 5 and layer 6 we can hide and not use them. So now this works, right? This is still a bit more sharper. What I can do is I'll 3 cut a bit of highs from it. Yeah. So together it might sound something like this. Works?
Yes, sir.
Still a bit more sharp, but then that's fine. Like, no problems with that. Okay. So that is how you edit. You layer, you mix and match your Foley. Now the only thing which is pending is, I guess, the tablecloth. So we'll just quickly take a look at it. The rest is all done. Fry pan, yeah. As I told you, the fry pan thing, you know, she was cooking, and like, that's an interesting bit, but then it could have been a bit more longer. Okay, it seems to be slightly inadequate. Maybe let's check if we could use it just like an passing by effect or something, maybe. Otherwise I won't use it. No, it's better not to use it because it sounds really like fast, you know, like comes and goes very quickly, so I won't use it. Yeah, he has done that bottles and fridge kind of thing which we were discussing about. That's pretty soft. I could push it up a bit, and it's just one single hit, so makes no sense. I won't use these because if there are like many bottles in the fridge, it would sound really different and not just one tap kind of thing. So yeah, the crutch already we have a good number of layers, so that's not. Always keep this thing in mind. Less is more, so always use less elements. Okay, so that's your Foley. So maybe we could solo the entire Foley thing and we could check things out. Looks nice.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The crutch thing, I'm still not happy with it because it still sounds a bit more sharp, but then yeah, maybe we could, like, you know, replace the sample or something and that would be fixed. But right now, whatever we have, it sounds really good. The next is like the voices of all the elements which are present. So yeah, these are the kids' voices. This is a nice touch. All of this was not provided to them. So he has maybe recorded a kid playing or whatever, and sounds really good. So the only thing is, always keep in mind, clean it up and add good fades. Keep your fades tight and nice so that it doesn't sound jumpy. Okay. So now what you can do is you can move them a bit more. Just check where it starts, because it's not that the kids would laugh just for that particular instance, and also not together itself. So you can laugh till here. So got it?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now he has automated one to the left and one to the right. Ideally, I would have kept both pretty close, in the center kind of thing. So now it sounds jumpy because of all that panning. So instead, I would have kept it together. But nevertheless, it was his call and he did it. So yeah. But interesting bit. Next is some character voices that we have.
पहले juice.
This was provided to them, I guess. This track was provided to them.
Nothing, Mama.
मैं मर जाए ना पसीना. Okay, Google. Turn on the whirlpool AC.
So this was provided to them. That's what they have used. Yeah, that is pretty much the character sound. So we have covered three major elements. One was ambiences and SFX. Second one, we looked at the Foley that we had, like pretty much intense work with the Foley and the character sounds. Now let's take a look at the VO. What the VO.
अपनों की केयर करने के लिए आप क्या क्या नहीं बन जाते? कभी उनके दोस्त बन जाते हो, तो कभी उनके बॉस, कभी सीक्रेट कीपर बन जाते हो, तो कभी सेवियर, और कभी कभी टू कूल बन जाते हो. अपनों की केयर करने के लिए आप सब कुछ बन जाते हो. इसीलिए व्हर्लपूल ने बनाए होम अप्लायंसेस विद 6 सेंस टेक्नोलॉजी.
That makes it easier to care every day. Whirlpool.
That's the tag music which they had recorded with the actress itself. So that has all the reverb and stuff maybe. Or maybe it was being recorded earlier somewhere and they have been copy pasting as a tag, as their trademark thing. So that is what the company will, like, they might have provided to the advertisement agency, and the agency provides this to the sound engineers so that there's no confusion. So this is pretty much what we have. So maybe you can add some EQ over here and stuff. Let's check out quickly the BGM. Exactly, the BGM is. This is a track with royalty-free track which he has selected, and yeah, it's a nice track, pretty swingy, and yeah, like this is what the ad needs. It should be catchy, sweet and catchy and warm, pleasant, because it's Diwali wala ad. So yeah, that has to be there, and it makes justice to the video. Yeah, this seems to be nice. Oops, yeah. So these are all the elements, and that is how your session is. The session management, the signal flow, everything we have checked out. So this is how it works. Any questions now? Maybe we can take some questions. We can discuss something. Sir, why most audio clips are clipping? Can you hear the clipping? If you take a look at the screen, you will feel that, yeah, it is clipping. But can you hear the clipping? We have just increased the waveform. Like I've increased the waveform. It's not clipping ideally. If it clicks, so like suppose if this you feel that it's clipping, check out your meter over here. Like it's not clipping. That's just the waveform which is increased. Got it? Because in sound, because in sound design, the layering and the sound is like really soft, you know. So just to see the waveforms, and it becomes a bit more easier to, you know, edit and stuff. That's why we just had pushed the levels a bit high. That's it, nothing else. It's not clipping.
So can you play all of the clips together?
Yeah, sure thing. Why not? It's again not mixed, huh? So yeah, let's take a look at the entire video now with the elements of sound design, of course unmixed, but then yeah, all the elements. Wait, I guess there's, yeah, some oxes are muted. Yeah, the video is also muted. Yeah, now let's go for it.
अपनों की केयर करने के लिए आप क्या क्या नहीं बन जाते? कभी उनके दोस्त बन जाते हो, तो कभी उनके बॉस।
पहले जूस,
कभी सीक्रेट कीपर बन जाते हो,
नथिंग मम्मा,
तो कभी सेवियर,
मैं मर जाए ना पसीना।
और कभी कभी
ओके गूगल,
टू कूल बन जाते हो।
टर्न ऑन द व्हर्लपूल।
अपनों की केयर करने के लिए आप सब कुछ बन जाते हो, इसीलिए व्हर्लपूल ने बनाए होम अप्लायंसेस विद 6 सेंस टेक्नोलॉजी।
that makes it easier to care every day.
Yeah, sounds a bit more engaging, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so
Yes,
that's
sir.
how you do your sound design. Now, are there any questions? Like I've shown you the entire workflow, so I'm pretty sure like you should have some questions. If not, then there are two things, you know, two cases. Either you have understood everything really well, or the second case is you did not understand anything. So let me know which case it is, and if not, then there should be some questions. Yeah, are there any? Guys, at least speak up. Yes, no, na. Nothing?
No, sir.
No questions? So during the ad shoot, are there sound guys present who record the Follies on shoot as well? It depends. Like, you know, not actually, I would say, because mostly it happens in the post itself. All the ad shoots, like the shooting floors are pretty noisy, you know, like it's always there. So yeah, not much of the sync sound element comes in. It always happens in the post, but then that's not the thumb rule again, you know, it always depends. So maybe, like, you know, if it is a good production and not much noisy and stuff, you know, yeah, so then maybe they record it over there itself, and yeah, they get along and stuff. Yeah, the answer is depends. Yeah, anything else? Are you guys there? No? No other questions?
No, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so like that is that. So if you need, like, if you want a copy of this session or something, maybe I'll keep it with me, and like if you want it just to take a look at it or play around or whatever, make some additions and then mix it and then maybe showcase it to me or something, I can do that. So you guys can maybe mail me, and or else instead of mailing, just hang out to me, and I'll drop you the link basically of this thing, and you can use and mix, and maybe again send a final output, like a final video, basically a link to a final video with your sound design track added onto it, and I can just take a look at the video and listen to your sound design audio and give you some reviews. So if that works, I'll keep a copy of this session with me and we'll share across with you guys. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So, was someone saying something? Will we get similar assignments to add polys and mix advertisements in future? Yeah, which you are you in? So this is like a 5th sem project which I had rolled out, and yeah, you can definitely go. Rather, you don't have to wait me to roll out something like this. If you feel there are plenty of advertisements on YouTube, download any of it, mute all the audio of it, and start designing, and maybe you can showcase it to me. Approach me anytime and I am there for you guys. So if you need any help with that, you need me to review it or something, yeah, of course, sometimes I might take some time, rather some longer time, because I can be a bit busy here and there, but then yeah, of course you can do that. Nihal has a question. It is a silly question. How is sound of falling the diya made by the help of Foley? I guess he found out a sample, but then the ideal case is always recording a Foley, right? Because yeah, that helps you more and in a better way.
Sir, it was recorded.
It was recorded. Okay, my bad. It was recorded. So yeah, that was recorded, and yeah, it was a good thing. The only thing which I found was the falling speed could have been a bit more slow, but yeah, for that, what you have to do is you have to have the exact property which was recorded in the used in the video, during the shoot. So that's what production guys do. That's what sound designers demand for. Once the shoot is done, all the property goes to the studio, the Foley studio, for sound designing, wherein the production guys use the exact same property and recreate the sound. Of course, it is really difficult to find things during this the post work that you're doing, and we also did not have any production who would supply this to you guys. So yeah, so whatever he did was a good job, but then ideally, if you say, you will need that exact diya to fall and make that sound. Any other questions?
No, sir.
No? Okay, great. So what I'll do is I'll keep a link of this session with me. I'll drop you my mail ID. You guys can hang out me. Drop me a hangout in the chat, and I'll just share a link of this session to you guys, and you can try out, sound designing. If there is anything else as well, you can connect with me and I'll be happy to help you with sound designing or music recording, music mixing, anything. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Great. Then so that's it from my end, guys. I was sort of expecting to hear a bit more trebly sound with the falling of the air. No, if you see, it has to be a balanced sound, Ajay, because if you see that diya, it's a bronze thing, which is falling onto a wooden thing. That won't make much tinny sound unless it falls from a real good height, So it's
Yes.
yeah, it's a heavy object, so it won't have much of treble. Instead, it would have body. So whatever he has recorded, maybe he recorded from a phone or something. It should contain, or it should possess more of low end, more of body is what I feel. My opinion
Alright.
is it should have a bit more of body. Yeah, someone was saying something.
I said, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what is missing, and we tried boosting it up, but then see, that is where I talk about, like it should be recorded well itself. Like if there's, like suppose I'm trying to boost something around say 100 to 150 hertz, but then if that information is not at all recorded, no EQ can boost. So like basically if you boost that 100 to 150 wala band, there's no information there itself. So kitna bhi boost karo, kuch boost hone hi nahi wala.
Yes, sir.
Initially there should be some information so which you can boost, and then it will rise up basically. But then if there's no information, like nothing will happen. So it's like pretty simple logic.
True.
Yeah. And one thing about this assignment, so when I rolled out this assignment, it was lockdown, if I'm not wrong. So these guys have worked really hard and did this in lockdown. Like
It's very impressive.
Yeah, there were no much of resources that these guys had, so this was all done at home, and these guys were at home and stuff. So yeah, like I'm pretty impressed with that. So like let's keep that in mind as well.
Still wondering how they got the children laughing sound.
Yeah, so like a nice thing, a commendable job that these guys did. Okay, so I'll keep this with me, and connect with me if you need this, and I can roll it out. Of course, it won't be a formal project or anything. It is just a practice thing that you would have. And if you love to do that, which I would suggest, like go for it, everyone on this call, because that helps you. Like more sound design you do, the better you get. Like it is just a matter of practice. It's just like music or any other art form. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. So yeah, just keep on doing that, and maybe you could do something out of it. So yeah, let me know if you want it. And thank you so much, guys. I had a great experience talking to you and showcasing you this session, and I hope this did some value addition to you guys and made, like you guys carry away something from this session and apply it in your work and make your work more better. Thank you so much. That's it from my side for today. Hope to connect with you guys in some other session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was very interesting to me.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.